Hello, this is RVer Frank with Kathy and Coco. Driving through here 20 plus years ago, one of the things I loved about this area was the clear blue skies. But something has changed. I've observed jet planes flying over this area, leaving what some people call persistent contrails and other people call chemtrails.
To think about it was like a movie.
It's a very unique community. The last place you'd expect.
If you look, you can see them overhead. The odd thing was that I saw these persistent trails behind three planes that were heading roughly south, lane trails that were spreading out and merging to cover the sky like a canopy. There is a regional airport in St. George, and many fly over the area from Salt Lake to Las Vegas or to LA off to the west, and flights off to the east that are probably from Salt Lake to Phoenix. There are many more planes in the sky that I'd ever seen before, and nearly all of them leaving behind these spreading contrails that start to create a gray haze over the once blue skies here. I'd heard of chemtrails before, but hadn't given them much thought, so I started looking up information on the topic. It soon became apparent to me that these trails I was seeing weren't contrails. They had to be these chemtrails I've heard people talk about. To elaborate, contrails are related to the phenomenon that allows you to see your breath on a cold day. The moist, warm air from your breath forms tiny, visible ice crystals as you exhale, which rapidly dissipate. In the same way, the moist air from the jet engine can form a trail of ice crystals when the temperature and weather conditions are right. These trails, however, rapidly dissipate. This was brought home to me just last week when I saw a regular jetliner in the air leaving a normal contrail. It was forming behind the plane, but stayed the same length as the jet moved forward. It didn't persist. I've seen planes leaving persistent contrails that were completely different than the commercial jet. The contrast was obvious. I've also noticed these planes while driving to Las Vegas. There's an Air Force base there. There are many people who would say that chemtrails are a conspiracy theory. I've never been one to dismiss things that offhandedly, but I am also one who likes to do a little research before making up my mind. I will leave it up to you to investigate all of this for yourself and make up your mind. This is St. George, the county seat of Washington County, Utah. We just crossed the Arizona border near the tri-state junction of Utah, Arizona, and Nevada. The city lies in the northeastern-most part of the Mojave Desert, adjacent to the Pine Valley Mountains, near the convergence of three distinct geological areas: the Mojave Desert, Colorado Plateau, and the Great Basin. The city is named after George A. Smith, a Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints apostle, otherwise known as LDS. As of 2015, St. George had a population of 80,000, and the metropolitan area, defined as Washington County, had an estimated population of 155,000. St. George is the seventh largest city in Utah and the most populous city in the state outside of the Wasatch Front. In 2010, growth slowed substantially due to the economic recession. Growth has since rebounded, and St. George was declared the fifth fastest growing metropolitan area in the United States in 2015. I expect this growth to continue. In January 2005, a 100-year flood occurred throughout the region due to prolonged heavy rainfall overflowing the Virgin River and Santa Clara River. One person was killed and 28 homes were destroyed by the Santa Clara River. In the early 1950s, St. George received the brunt of the fallout of above-ground nuclear testing at the Yucca Flats, Nevada test site northwest of Las Vegas. Winds routinely carried the fallout of these tests directly through the St. George and southern Utah area, were reported from the mid-1950s until the early 1980s. So, as we endure this light St. George work traffic, we get a chance to enjoy the scenic drive.